Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. I am Jeff Blankenburg, and we are here today to do some cool stuff. If you were here on Friday, you may recall that I started building some cool things with a chatbot that I've been working on for a little while. And one of the things that we discovered was it would be pretty fun to build a casino game. Now, there's a number of things that go into that. You have to have a currency of some kind that people can use. You have to be able to build the game so that people can easily access it, use it, and take bets and do all of that kind of stuff. And it really got me thinking about what we could really do with a chatbot. And so I started on Friday with taking that currency, and we have that currency. So basically, you earn one coin, right, fake coin, for every time that you participate in chat. So every time you type a message and hit enter, like Gold Zulu just did, Early Bird gambles and wins. He earned one fake coin for doing that. And then the further you take this, the more you realize, like, wow, okay, so people participate in chat, they earn currency. Let's get them a way to do some of that stuff. And so that was the next step, was to think about something fun we could do. Now, one of the things is, like, you could create a virtual store and give away, like, digital stickers and other kinds of fun things for people to earn or take. But one of the other things that I really like, and stuff I have some experience building, is casino games. And most people have been to a casino or are aware of some casino games, right? You've got poker and roulette and slots and blackjack and all those kinds of things. And so I thought it would be kind of fun to be able to build those things directly into the chat. So the chatbot that I was working on is actually the Amazon Alexa chatbot. And the whole point of it is to interact with people on the Amazon Alexa channels. And I realized that the more and more that I was getting into this, that I was really adding a bunch of features to this Alexa chatbot that don't necessarily belong there. If I want to build a casino, I should build a casino, and if I want to build an Alexa chatbot, then I should build an Alexa chatbot. But they're really not the same thing, and they shouldn't live in the same place. And so that's kind of where we are. That's kind of what we're doing right now. So what I thought I'd do is start kind of from scratch. I mean, there will be some copying and pasting because I've written a lot of this code already. But I thought I'd build a brand new chatbot from scratch and kind of go through the process of getting this stuff all set up and working and running and whatever. So that's kind of the plan for today. So I'd love for any of you that join me here, obviously, to have a conversation. If you have questions, or why did I do something, or why does that thing happen, or whatever, ask it. Like, that's why I do this. I think it's very, very cool to build stuff, and I'm going to hit some roadblocks almost instantly as I get into this, because creating one from scratch is not something you do very often, but building additional functionality into one is. So I'm really good at that part, but the building from scratch, we'll see what we run into. But that's the plan for today. So with that, I think we'll just get right into it. So just to give you guys a little background on this, this is the Alexa bot that I was working on, or that I will continue to work on. And you can see in here that these are all the commands that I've kind of created. We have things like age and 8-ball and followers and leaderboard and all this other stuff, right? But you can see I've also added things like pay table and roulette and slots. And also up here somewhere there is a poker. Poker's in here somewhere too, yeah. So these things are already all here and built, but they're in the wrong place. They're in the wrong software, really. And so what I'm going to do is open a new, let's see if I can do a new window completely. Yeah, I think that will do. So we've got this. Come on. We're going to close that. We're going to go here. We're going to choose... well, actually, before we even do this, let's come over to our little GitHub panel. And let's create a new repository, because we're going to want to save this too. So we're going to create a new repository. We're going to call this Chatsino. This is the name that I'm using for this, and I think this will be a kind of a cool bot to have running in these channels. It's going to be in my GitHub folder, which is great. I will have a node git ignore and all of that. Yeah, we can put a readme in there too. Why not? A Twitch IRC chatbot to play casino games. Okay, so we're going to create a repository. That's our first step. And now that we've done that, let's open it up. No, I chose the wrong one. Where did it go? There it is. And let's see what kind of things. Yeah, please gamble responsibly is right. They always create the first commit for you, and I'm always just curious to see what's there. Okay, that's fine. I'll commit that, and we'll publish it just so that we have. I won't keep this private so that you'll be able to find this on my GitHub. We're going to publish this repository just so that it exists, and everything is in place. That's great. Okay, so now let's. Give me another error down here. Okay, so now let's go open that repository. Open. And we're going to choose from our GitHub folder, we're going to choose the new one, Chatsino. So with this, obviously, I don't have a lot going on here, but one of the first files that we're going to need is an index.js file. That's going to be kind of our core. And then the next thing that I want to do is we need a terminal window. And in here, we're just going to do, stop it. We're going to do npm install. And this should get me like a package.json and all the other stuff. At least I think it will. Maybe not. Maybe I have to create the package.json myself. That's fine. I thought that I could do that and it would just give me a default one. So we'll just take this and we'll tweak it up a little bit. This is the one that I'm using for the Alexa chatbot. Going to be very similar. So let's create a new file, package.json. And we'll just dump this in here, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So we're going to call this Chatsino, a chatbot for a casino chatbot for Twitch channels. Boom. The main is going to be index. That's right. You should only gamble what you can afford to lose. That is absolutely right. Index.js will go there. All the rest of this looks okay. We have some dependencies. There's a lot in here that I don't need. So let's keep. I don't think I need. Oh, I need TMI for sure. That's the way I connect to Twitch. Let's Strava. I don't need. Soundplay. I don't need. Request promise. I don't need. Node fetch. I need. Lodash. I need. HTTPS. I probably don't need. FFmpeg I don't need. I'll definitely need Airtable. Dev dependencies, we can leave all those alone. And then I think we can just dump all. I don't think we need any of this. So now we have this this nice package.json. Let's try that again. npm install. So this should go get me all the things that are in that list, right? The Airtable SDK, the debug, node module, Lodash, node fetch, TMI. Should be getting me all of those things. Hopefully that won't put up a fight for me. And then it should also get me all the dev dependencies. And the key one that I really want that makes my life really easy is NodeMon. And what NodeMon gives me is the ability to auto-run my node application every time that I save. So one of the things that I did very, very early on was I would have to start and stop my bot every time I made a change. And NodeMon, in addition to a number of other things, gives me the ability to, every time that I save a file, it starts and stops the service for me automatically. Okay, so it looks like we're pretty good there. We have our package. We have a ton of node modules now. That's great. Got all the stuff that we need. Now let's talk about what goes inside index.js. The other thing that I need to add is another file in here, new file, called .env. NodeMon is fantastic, Ghost Bag Games. By the way, welcome to the show. I don't think I've seen your name before, but I'm glad you're here. And we're building a bit of a casino. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, stick around, give us a follow. Always appreciate it. We're trying to make our way to 500 followers. I promised our viewers that I would do an entire episode dressed as an X-Wing pilot. And I really, really want to do that, but we can't do it till we get to 500 followers. So if you don't mind, you get your name on the screen, all that kind of fun stuff, but it would be kind of cool to have you follow us. Okay, so this is the beginning. Now let's go back and look at what we did. If we come to our bot over here, This stuff at the top is the stuff that we really care about. So I'm going to do this piece by piece just so that we're getting what we need when we need it. So we're going to start with just TMI, and all I'm trying to do right now is get us a connection. So I'm in the wrong file. Let's not put it there. Let's put it in here. So that's our first piece, is we need tmi.js. TMI is the Twitch management interface, and what it allows me to do basically is connect directly to the Twitch IRC service over WebSockets. It does all that work for me, so I don't really have to worry about it very much. I'll have to authenticate, which we'll get here in a second. But then the next thing that I really want is I need these couple of lines here. And what these do is you can see that I'm creating a new client. Irtrugal, thank you for being here again, man. Thank you for the follow the other day. I'm glad you're here. And so we have to create this options object. So that is this, which is my identity stuff. So we'll have to play with that a little bit too, because obviously I don't want to show that here on screen, but I'll have to create that file here briefly. So that means that I'll need a file called identity.js. And in that file, I will have good morning, Karthik. Ghostbag, you've never seen chatbot development, so this will be fun. Just a CS student finishing a project. Where are you going to school, Ghostbag? That's pretty cool. I would love to know like what kind of stuff you have worked on. We have a really cool community here. It's a bunch of really interesting people from all walks of development, and they're super friendly and engaging. Like you can see Goldzula is welcoming people to the room. So let us know what's going on. What do you like? What are you working on? What have you built? Always curious to know. Okay. So I have my identity. I'm gonna have to get that in a second. And then the thing that I really need is this piece here. This on message handler. This is the core to everything that we're gonna do. So once we've done all that, we have this on message handler, which I'll need to close. And this function is where all of the magic happens. This is where we'll recognize commands. This is where we'll store data. This is the core entry point into our code, because every message that happens in the chat will happen here. So then we can take a little bit of this. These are always helpful to have. I may rip them out eventually, but we'll take those. This is going to be there's two things really happening here. The first one is I get a parameter from Twitch that tells me whether or not the message that was posted came from me, right? And so the chatbot is going to have an account. It'll have its own name, and this just lets me know, hey, this is a message I posted. We don't want to process messages that the bot posted, because otherwise we could end up in this weird infinite loop of checking and going over and over and over. So the one thing that I really want to check is if I posted the message, then don't do anything with it. Just get out and we can ignore that one. So that's what that first line there is. And then this here, this is just me writing out each of the 4 values that's coming into my chatbot. So you can see that I have target, context, message, and self. So target just tells me what channel this happened on. So you can run a chatbot on multiple channels at the same time. The target just lets me know what channel this was supposed to happen on. This also means that I could do funny, interesting things like have people post a message in one chat. So maybe we're over on Karthik's chat, and you type a message, and then I say, oh, you did that. Okay, I'm going to post a message on the Alexa channel. That would be very, very easy to do just by switching out the target. Karthik, the basketball with the beer drop was epic. All right, I guess I wasn't sure if anybody saw that, but I guess I'll show it. If we go to my Twitter and we go to my profile, I don't know if I should be proud of this, but this is something that I did this weekend. Come on. Can we go full screen? There we go. So this is me looking very talented. But basically we had a basketball with a beer on top of it. And if I run that, it's in slow-mo, but you can see get into a good steady position. It's spilling a little bit. Caught it with minimal spillage, and then took a good hit off of that bottle. So I was over at my sister and brother-in-law's this weekend, and you can see I'm still maintaining social distancing, but it was kind of a silly, fun thing to do. Why not involve some physics in my my beer consumption. So that's the thing I did. And Gold Zula says he preferred the cats. I also did. We foster kittens from time to time, and we have 4 baby kittens. I think they're about 6 weeks old, living in a space in our basement right now. It's a nice space. They can spread out and play and whatever. But from time to time, you'll find me posting pictures on social media of my interactions with those kittens. Because how great is it, especially if you're having a bad day, go downstairs, put a blanket over your legs. They have sharp claws. I can probably stop playing this. And just have them crawl all over you. It's really, really fun. So, yeah, so we have 4 kittens in our house for the next, I don't know, probably 4 weeks or so. But okay, so I'm getting so distracted. You guys are wonderful at distracting me. Okay, so all of the other logic that's inside this message handler, this is all the logic that I'm using for the chatbot. So I don't really need any of this for the most part yet. What I want to do is just get the messages coming in, and then down here at the very bottom, I have this onConnected handler, and we'll copy that as well and bring it in here. So now we have this nice little structure that looks like this. And the thing that I'm missing, and I'm gonna have to, I apologize, I have to go off screen for now because there's a bunch of like API keys and stuff. But I'm gonna come in here and find my identity file, maybe. Identity. And yeah, this is the thing that I need. And then I need to go into my identity file. And I need to paste this in. And this is going to be Chatsino. And for now, we'll just run it on my channel instead of everywhere. Okay, now the thing that I need to remember, I'm going to close this file. I also want to go into GitHub really quickly and just make sure that I am excluding that from any kind of ignore file. Cool. Okay, just want to make sure that I'm not showing a bunch of secrets on the screen, because there are going to be a bunch of secret keys and things that I have to play with in order to authorize against this and against my database, but we'll get there. But I think I have the things that I need out of the box, so we're good to come back to the screen. And this is what it looks like. So this is the core of my chatbot, and then right here, this is where we will do stuff. So the last piece of this, the last thing that I need to do in order to get this to work is to actually get my identity. And this is the part that I never remember how I did it. So I'm going to go to Glitch. Glitch is a website. Let's see if I can find Glitch Twitch chatbot. This is the first time that I ever interacted with a chatbot, and they help you set it all up for you. So it was actually kind of nice and easy to be able to do this. But what I'm hoping to do is if I can come in here to Twitch chat. That's not really what I want yet. I want there's a place where it encourages me to go. All right, Karthik, take care, man. Thank you for stopping by, though. I really do appreciate you visiting with us. Yeah, if you guys haven't signed up for Alexa Live, you definitely should. It's coming up on July 22nd. We're not that far away, and lots of cool stuff to see there. If I go to View Source, can I see it here? I'm trying to remember. There's this thing that I need to do. Here it is. Go to this page. Generate this with twitchapps./TMI. This is the thing that I need. Connect. No, but see, I need to sign in as a different account. I need to be this one. Okay. Now, we are logged in as Chatsino. By the way, I registered this name a couple days ago because I thought that I would be using this. So I'm going to authorize this, but I'm going to do this without showing you any tokens. So I'm going to authorize this, and it's going to give me this really nice OAuth token that I'm going to use in my identity file. So we'll come into my identity file that we have, And I just need to change the OAuth that's in there to this one. Close that down. And now we should be good. So I think, let's just check my package.json and make sure I've got the command right. But in here I have, to get all my dev stuff, it's npm run dev. So I think I can just come down here and say npm run dev. And like that, we are connected to my channel. So what we should be able to see, if we look at this here, let me clear this. So what we should be able to see now is when someone posts something in the chat, like this, hi everyone, you can see that I am now logging the message that just came in. I have the hi everyone right here, but I have target, context. Did somebody else post a message too? Maybe Mr. Smoofy did? Yeah, Mr. Smoofy posted this link to Alexa Live. So 2 messages came in. I was like, man, that's a lot of content. But what's interesting about this, and what's cool and useful about the data we get from Twitch, is that we get this giant context object in JSON. And this gives me most everything that I need to know about the person that posted it. So I can see that they're the broadcaster, they're a subscriber, what their username is. I can also see things like what badges they have. So like I've been a subscriber of my own channel for 11 months. You get that automatically. But we can also see what the room ID is of the IRC chat that we're in. All of this data comes through as a way for us to know what's going on with the user. And then I obviously also see the message. You can see here that AirTrueGirl, your message just came through, so I can see your name is right here. I can see the message you wrote was cool, and of course self is false. But if I were to go into the chat as myself, which this must still think that I'm logged in as me, even though over here I am logged out. So we can close that, close this. Do I have another browser open somewhere? I logged in as me just temporarily. I wonder if I refresh this, what'll happen. No, it still thinks I'm me. That's good. No, access denied. That's kind of what I expected. So I got to go back to Twitch because I logged in as the chatbot. I don't want to be logged in as the chatbot. I want to be logged in as me. So let's sign out of here and log in. That's perfect. Got to text me a token. We can do that. It is a long number. Okay. And then if we come back to my channel, we can start putting some magic together. So, well, let's not. There we go. So I'm gonna go to the mod view just so I don't have the video showing, but this is the moderator view of the chat, and you can see I can see a list of the folks over here that are hanging out. But now we can see that the user Chatsino is here and paying attention, and so that's a really, really useful thing to have, and it makes me realize that I also want to make them a mod. So we're gonna do one more thing, which is Twitch. We're gonna go to my page again, and this time we're gonna go to the channel creator dashboard. What this gives me the ability to do is designate that user as a moderator, which then allows them to do more things like post messages whenever they feel like it without limits and stuff like that. So community, roles manager, I'm going to add a new Chatsino. There you are. I'm going to have to add their role, and the role I want to give them is moderator. I don't know what editor does. I don't know what that role is. Learn more about roles? Not right now. Save. And so Chatsino now has the rights to do the things I need it to do. Okay, so we're good from that perspective. The bot is still running. The last message you guys posted was cool. So that's awesome. Okay, so we have the Chatsino bot set up and running. The next thing that we need to do is build some things to handle the kinds of commands that we want to handle. So if I can find my other window, which is somewhere, here we go. I'm going to go back into the bot for this. Oh, it allows changing topics and stuff. Okay, thank you, Gold Zulu. So what I do in here is the first thing that I do is trim up the message that I get. And break it into an array because the first piece of it is the command. So we're going to take this over here, and we're going to say message.trim. This removes any like leading or trailing spaces that I don't care about. And then I'm going to split on spaces. So if you guys haven't done a lot of JavaScript or haven't seen a function like this before, what I'm basically saying is when I get a string, so like if the string looks like, let's see if I can do this in a way that isn't the worst. You guys might type something like roulette 5 red, right? Like that would be an example of a roulette command. And so what I'm doing is I'm breaking up that message, the roulette space 5 space red, into 3 individual values based on the spaces that I have there. So it'll split them into an array where the first value will be exclamation point roulette, the second one would be 5, and the third one would be red. And then I'm just logging this for myself so that I know what's going on. So I can see like, oh, the command they're trying to execute is whatever the first value happens to be. Now, if you don't, if you give me a command that doesn't exist or whatever, that's totally fine. We're gonna skip all of those things, and you'll see how that happens here in just a second. So the next step is then to switch on that command and do whatever it is that we want to do with it. So in this case, my first next action is to create a switch statement. And this switch statement is just taking that first command, right? Message array 0. I'm converting it to lowercase so that if you guys type caps or whatever, I don't have to worry about trying to match all those cases. I just convert the whole thing to lowercase, and then it automatically matches the things that I'm looking for. And my first case is going to be, what should we make our first one? We'll do something simple, like commands. We'll do commands as our first one. So this is commands. And then we got to put a break statement in here. And if you say commands, what happens if you give 5 red for roulette? Well, I don't know how familiar you are with roulette. Let me make sure that I explain it. Roulette table. Just so you guys can see a picture of a roulette table. I think this is the one that I used as I was building. So this is a picture of a roulette table. And you can see that I have all of these numbers, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 36. Then I have a 0, which is neither red nor black. And then I have first 12, second 12, third 12, which is like bottom, middle, top. And then I have 1 to 18 and 19 to 36. Those are like high and low. I have even and odd, and I have red and black. Those are all different ways that you can bet on a roulette table. And so when you say roulette 5 red, what you're saying is I want to bet 5 coins on red. I want to bet that the next spin of the wheel will produce a red number. And so that is what happens when you give 5 red for roulette. And I can actually let you guys see this. Now I'm going to be removing this functionality from the Alexa bot, but it is technically there today. So if you come into the chat and you say roulette 5 red, you can see that I just lost 5 coins on the roulette wheel. Now I have a ton of coins. I was trying to see how far I could take this. My bet was on red. The outcome was 4, which is black. It's also even. It's also in the bottom, and it's also one of the low numbers. So I'm showing you all the possible outcomes that you could have bet on, and that's where red comes in. So I bet on red, and you can see that red failed. Red was not the outcome, so I lost 5 coins because of that. So there you go. So your new total is 198. You bet on black. The outcome was red. But 5 red is not a place on the wheel. You either bet red or 5 black. Yeah, so 5 is your bet, Mr. Smoofy. 5 is the number of coins that you are wagering. So I'm putting 5 coins on black. Does that make sense? You're not betting. You don't have to indicate to me that 5 is black. My system already knows that. What you're indicating is that you wanted to bet black. But you could also do roulette 5, 5, right? And that would be, I want to put my money on the number 5. And the outcome was 11, so obviously I lost that one too. So this is this is how the roulette wheel works, right? It's doing a random spin for me. I bet on 5, the outcome was 11, and it gives me all of the possible outcomes that were there so that you know. But the first parameter is always your bet. So, that being said, I also was able to build slots, and so by default, with roulette, you have to give a bet, and you have to give a position. So if I do like this, if I do roulette by itself, you'll see that I get an error message saying, hey, you need to provide a bet and a position like this, and then it gives you an indication of what that looks like. Please try again. So it won't let you do those things without a bet. But slots, as Goldzulu just discovered, slots is different. If you indicate a bet like 5, you can bet 5. But if you just do slots, there's an assumption that you are going to bet 1. Just 1 coin. So if you don't provide a bet, we assume you wanted to bet 1. In this case, you can see Goldzulu, I'm a winner. I had 1 cherry, and 1 cherry is a winner. Another thing that you probably need to know is, what do the pay tables look like for this stuff? Well, if I say pay table, slots, this gives you a clear indication of how you can win in the slot machine. And so it's spinning actual reels. I can show you the code for this in a little bit. So these things are weighted to those kinds of scenarios, but you can see that I'm laying out for you what the pay table looks like. Now, I don't have any power in Twitch and in IRC to add line breaks. I really wish that I could, because I could make the pay table look a lot nicer. But for our purposes, this at least gives me some indication. I don't know, Goldzulu. I haven't decided yet. I feel like if you say slots, maybe. I'm also thinking about building a command that is like play, and then slots, and then your other commands. But the more parameters we add, the trickier it is for users to remember what order they need to go in. So I'm trying to figure out what the right approach is for that, I guess, and we'll figure that all out. So that's the slot machine. You can use the slot machine also if you'd like, and then the final one is poker. Poker also exists, and you can see that in this case, I bet 1 and I won 1 because I got a pair. I had a pair of 8s, and so poker works the exact same way. But this is not like video poker where you get to hold some cards and things like that. This just it shuffles a deck of cards, randomly draws the first 5 cards off the deck, and then that is your poker hand. And the odds are there to represent the kinds of scenarios that you might run into. I got rid of help, Goldzulu. Right now it's !command. But that is how poker works. And I always sort the hand from high to low, so they were probably not dealt in that order, but you'll notice that the cards are always sorted high to low. So that's one of the other cool things that you'll see as we get into this. So we'll talk all about the logic and how all that stuff works, but what I want to do is move all of this functionality out of uncurse. I don't know if that's going to work. But that's kind of the casino stuff right now. Where I'd like to take this is so that, like, especially for roulette and things that are more like community-based, craps is another good example of that. I would like to build this in a way where it's a group activity. And so we all place bets, and then once the betting is done, then the wheel spins and everybody gets to play on the same outcome, basically. Pika program, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hello to you as well. Did you guys break it? No, you were putting at. I was like, man, it didn't break. Yeah, the Baby Yoda's here. You can see there's Baby Yoda right here, just hanging out. I don't know what else you might be talking about. And Lord of Sound, I also have another one, and I plan on giving this away when we get to 500 followers too. So another good incentive to bring over your friends. Make sure you guys all follow if you get an opportunity, because I'd love to give that thing away. There's also this one. I know I haven't really talked about it. I ordered this at the same time. He's like life-sized. Gigantic. Pika program, thank you for the follow. Did I just see Mr. Smoofy is ready to post his picture? Yeah, let's let's do that, Mr. Smoofy. Do you want to do it now? Let me know when you're ready. When you submit the thing, just give me the link to the image that you want to use, and we can get into it. I'm going to keep working on some code here. So commands, what we want to say for commands is, let's say like client.say, and this is the last piece. This is how we reply, is we say client.say, and then we have to pass in what channel we want to say it on, and then what we want our message to be. So we're going to do, we should always use target here, because we want to go back to the same channel that it was sent to us on. We don't want to accidentally go to the wrong place. Greg Levenhagen has 3,500 points. Nice work. I think that's super cool. Lord of Sound, 17,000. Current games available are, we'll do poker, roulette, and slots, just so that we have a way for that to work. So because this chatbot is active and running, we should be able to just say, now we'll get 2 responses, but if I say commands, you can see that Chatsino responded with 1. Current games available are poker, roulette, and slots. And then we have the Amazon Alexa one, which is the current command list that the Amazon Alexa one has. And I'll keep like the 8-ball in there, the age and the followers, and all of those are probably fine. You can see that we have exclamation point RPS. That's rock, paper, scissors. So if you want to play against somebody else in rock, paper, scissors, that's a really fun way to do that. There you go, Gold Zulu. The 8-ball knows everything. Sounds like you're safe. So yeah, that's all the fun stuff that we've been building as far as chatbots go. But I really want to get all of the casino stuff moved over here. So in order to do that, the first thing that I'm going to do is create a new folder, and we'll call it games. And in that games folder, I'm going to need to create an index file. So we'll create a new file inside there called index.js. And the other thing, will I complete this? We'll see. So Ghostbag, you can see that I have Chatsino and I have Amazon Alexa. Both of those are bots that are running right now. And so you can ask about people's age on Twitch. Like we could do that for you. Let's do that. If I do Ghostbag Games. So 2 Gs? Yeah. You've been on Twitch for 1 month and 3 weeks. Right? So it can find that kind of data. It can also see how many followers you have and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a fun social way to, like, when someone new is in the room, like if we do age for Pika Program, P-I-K-P-R-O-G-A-M, 6 days, 21 hours. So Pika Program is really new to Twitch, and I'm glad that you're on my channel today. Thank you for being here. So let's get back to it. We want to get some of this stuff moved over. So I have this new folder called games, and I have index.js. So the first thing that I want to do is go in here, because I started creating all of this Chatsino stuff. And the first one that we'll move over is roulette, because it's kind of standalone. I don't think I had any, yeah, it's just this. So we'll just take this file, and we'll create a new one in here called roulette. So roulette.js is going to need this. And there's a few things in here that we're going to need. The first is I need the ability to talk to Airtable. Oh my gosh, Mr. Smoofy, are we doing this right now? All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. I have to get some Photoshop open. And I'm going to need, Mr. Smoofy, I need your URL for your image. Wherever your... Well, I'm glad you're here, Mr. Pika Program. I'm glad that you joined us. Oh, you sent me a whisper. Okay. The image is going to be seen by everybody. The URL might be seen by everybody. I hope that's okay. On my computer, downloads. I think it's in here somewhere. Funko wall. Is everybody else seeing me in sync, or is it just Gold Zulu? Or out of sync, I guess. So here is our image. For those of you that don't know, we have this awesome wall behind me that has all of these Funko toys. And I'm trying to remember who the last person to get on here was, to make sure I don't have an old version. Kevin Evans is on there. I feel like this is probably good. Gold Zulu is the newest one. Oh, you're the newest one. Okay, so I have this ready to go. Then I need to go into Twitch and look at my whispers. And I have the URL for your image. Nice. Okay, we're going to try and get that as big as possible. Got it, thank you. Take this image, copy it. We'll just do that first. Then we got to do a little trimming. We'll just start here right on the cheek and kind of go around your face. Boop, boop, boop. It's always very challenging, humbling when you see somebody trace your face. It makes you look at every little thing and say, wow, do I really... Mr. Smoofy's a good-looking guy here, but I feel like I would be so self-conscious if someone was just sitting here tracing my head. There's my endpoint. Okay. So we're going to copy that and bring it over here. And then the last challenge for you is, Gold Zulu, where do you want to be? Which figure do you want to be on? Have you made that decision? Kool-Aid Man. Nice. Okay. There's your face. Transform it, scale. I'm gonna need an oh yeah for this. This is pretty cool. Bring you down here and let's take a closer look at what's happening. That actually was pretty good. There's the oh yeah, thank you. Look at you. I'm going to keep the arms and the feet. That looks great. Okay, so we'll commit that. Now I got to do a MR Smoofy. And I got to create a folder for you. So we'll just take this one. Duplicate group. MR Smoofy. And then we'll take this, drop it in here. I can't remember. Is it that one? Where's Urban Blaster in all this? Yeah, I got the right one. Okay. So we can get rid of this layer. Delete layer. Then I can change this. No. I need to take this whole group and move it. It's in the wrong place. Okay, we're almost there. So move this down a little bit, like so. And then this text needs to change. Nope. MR Smoofy like that. Okay. You can go in the trash, please. Mr. Smoothie is on the board. So now we just need to do a save. And once that's done, an export. And then we need to change this to funkawall.png. Perfect. Replace it. And then we need to go to S3 and upload it. So thank you, Mr. Smoothie, for tuning in enough to earn yourself some points. I think I should have set that 4,000 point bar higher. But I'm glad that you guys are all here and participating and have earned enough points to get up on the wall. That's pretty awesome. So jeffblankenburg.twitch, I'm pretty sure this is where this lives. funkawall.png. We're going to upload a new file. We'll do both of these just so I have the latest. Open. Next. Please make them public so that people can see them. Next. Upload. And so for those of you that don't know that this exists, if you go to the bottom of my Twitch page, you should, once that file is uploaded, what you should be able to see, I don't want any, don't play. Okay. What? Okay, there we go. So down here we have this Wall of Fame, and if you click on it, you can see that image that we just worked on, and you can see that Mr. Smoothie's face is right there. Boom. You're on the wall. That one actually looks really good. That turned out really nice. So you can check it out, see who else is on the wall. A lot of the people that are here in the chat have already earned their way onto the wall. If you would like to be here, all you need to do is spend 4,000 channel points, which you earn just by watching, and that will get you up on the wall. So anyway, that's our Wall of Fame. We're there. We're done. We did it. Thank you, Mr. Smoothie, so much. So back to this. So there's a few things that we need to look into here. The first is, what was I doing with helper? I probably need a helper file. So let's do that. New file. Helper.js. This is a lot of like universal functions that I use all over the place. Some examples of those, if I look at this helper, are things like getting random and stuff like that. Get random item, get random are good starter kit stuff for that. So we'll dump those into helper, and then we need to export those. Module.exports equals, and then in here I'm going to have maybe get random item and get random. Okay, so those two functions now exist. Oh, look at that. Ghostbag Games winning 7 tokens. I thought you guys would enjoy this. I think this is a really fun thing to do when you need something to do in the chat. And I think a casino is the way to go. Okay, so we have our helper file. That's a good start. The other thing that we need is a reference to our Airtable stuff. So I'm going to create a new... no, not there. Down here, I'm going to create a new folder. We're going to call it Airtable. I do a lot with Airtable, and inside Airtable, this is where I do all of my transactions with the Airtable database, right? This is where we store all of the stuff. Pika program, if you type !me, you can see how many coins you currently have. 20 is allowed. He doesn't have enough coins. He only has 8 coins. So 20 is totally fine, but you can't bet more coins than you have. So every time you post a message in chat, you get 1 more coin too. So that's how you accumulate those. So you can continue to post messages in the chat. Please don't spam. I would prefer that didn't happen, but that is that's currently the mechanism you use to be able to. Can you donate your coins to Pika program? Well, Gold Zulu, this is actually one of the things I want to do once we're in here is a give command where you can donate money. And I was thinking that there would also be like a second currency or badge system or something for that you earn for having been generous. But I don't know what that is yet, so we'll get there. So inside Airtable, I'm going to need an index file. Again, we bury index files on top of index files. It's a good way to keep things organized. And then in here, I'm just going to do I don't know if it'll let me do this empty, but we'll try. Module.exports. Like that. I think that's fine, because then at least we can get around any issues or errors that we might run into. Ghostbag, I was trying to use Dynamo. Would you say Airtable is easier to interact with when saving user data? I think so. Here, I can show you how I do it. So, like, I have update user score. This is how you get your coins, basically. But the Airtable has a really nice API. I have to pass it in, like, what database that I want to put in, what table I want to put it in, what my API key is. And then I have a filter formula to basically go look up a user. So I'm saying, and if username equals their username, then give me the record. And if you exist, great. If you don't, then I go and create you. And this is all I need to do to create a record inside Airtable. So in my user table, I say I want the username to be this. You start with 1 coin the first time. Yeah, I agree with you, Pika. I think that there's probably going to have to be some kind of monitor, but I don't have any of that stuff right now. So for now, we're just going to have to live with the spamming. But that's hopefully most of the people here are super respectful and not trying to be obnoxious about it. So that's kind of where we're at. So anyway, I really enjoy Airtable, and if you haven't played with Airtable before, this is what it looks like. So you can see in here, if I look at like this is my user record stuff. So I was able to dump these records in every time you guys do something. So like Gold Zulu has this thing. Gold Zulu wants a to-do list. All right, we'll get there. But this is the current balance of everybody's account. Anybody that has chatted has earned coins, and obviously I modified mine. This is my son. So between the two of us, I added some coins just so we could do some interesting things. This is my son. So I gave him 25,000. So he's actually like negative 300 coins. But I was having him test some things the other day. So that's how this all works. And you'll see that like Gold Zulu, if you type another message, yeah, you'll see that it should just update automatically. There you go. Your message, it's incrementing these numbers and live updating it for me as I watch this, which is super cool. Okay. Back to getting some things done. So I want to just make sure that I can get this roulette file working. So this is now called games. And then I want to make sure that I'm not doing anything in here that's crazy. So I have get user record. This is where I'm going to start running into trouble because I need to create a whole new table. I need new API table names. But I guess we're going to have to feel the pain the first time to be able to do this. So let's come over here and get my get user record, which looks like this. And we'll come into Airtable and we'll create a new file called getuserrecord.js. And in here we're going to dump this. And we have helper. We don't have keys created yet. And I'm hoping to find another way around that. I think I have. Look at that, Gold Zulu cleaning up on the roulette wheel. Okay, so this is get user record. In here you can see I have this keys file. What I really want to do instead is have a .env file. And so then I can say the same thing that I would say if I deployed this to like some other environment. So in here, if I can remember how to do this, I think I can just say, well, I don't remember how to do this actually. So for now, we'll just live with keys. This is another no looking at the screen moment. So I'm going to open up my keys file and bring it over. And then the other thing that I will need to do, there's one more step I need to take here. Sorry for keeping you guys off the screen. There's moments where I have to do this. I need to get, what am I doing? Oh, I needed to get that out of GitHub, so that when I push this, it doesn't go. Okay. All right, we're on our way to bash another user. What does bashing do? What would you do to somebody if you hit them? Are you mad that W. Giorgio won 100 coins? Okay. Oh, I see. You want to be able to steal from them? We'll get there. Well, once we get this casino bot running on its own independently, I think that we can have a lot of fun with that kind of functionality. So, okay, the one other thing that I need to do is, I apologize for the delay on this. I need to go to Airtable and I need to get the unique keys for what's happening here. So we'll go to table 1, JavaScript, create record. That is that. Okay. So I'm basically getting the keys that I need to be able to do this right. Okay. So that part's good. I can close my keys file for now. Close that file. We're going to come over here to Airtable just to make sure that I have what I need in here. This needs to be a table called user. I guess I can show you guys this now. So I'm in Airtable. I'm creating a new table called user. This is going to be record ID, which is just the unique identifier that they use for marking records, so that I have a unique identifier for each column. Then this is going to be username, which is simple text. This will be currency, and this currency will be a number, integer. Default value is 0. Save. Did I have anything else in the old one? If I come to here and I look at user, and I had lifetime earnings. This is something else that I really want to pay attention to. So if we go back to the other one, so we'll do a lifetime earnings. And this will also be a number, not auto number, just a regular number, please. And this will be integer, default value is 0, save, and we're good. Okay, so I have all of that stuff set up. So now we come over here and we're calling into base data. I have my API key. The table's called user, and username equals the username that you currently are using. So this should all work. The thing that so this file's good. So let's get back to roulette and see what else we need to fix in here coming over. So Airtable.getUserRecord now exists. Oh, but I don't have the reference to it, so we need to do const Airtable equals require Airtable, no, get user record. And then this actually needs to be get user record. And then this needs to be like that. Okay. That's a little bit better. Then we have a currency that will come out of that getting a user record. Then in here we have, this is all pretty self-contained. Payout and all this other stuff lives inside this file. I'm going to break that out eventually. But I think, is everything else in here self-contained? That would be really, really nice. Position list, payout, outcome description. Yeah, this might just work. The thing that won't work, for sure, is that I don't have any of the user stuff happening. Like I have to create you every time you submit a message. So we need to look at our bot here, because one of the things that I'm doing right here is this. I need to get these two pieces up and working. I don't know that I need to save the chat message, so maybe this is all that I need. But what I want to do is when we come into my index file at the very beginning, we log all that stuff, and then I want to make sure that you get credit for the message that just happened to give you a coin. So we need to say const, what did I call it over there? User score equals await Airtable update user score. So this is another file that we'll need to get and create. So if we look at Airtable update user score, Pika says that's a lot of else's. Where did you see a lot of else's? Oh, I know where you saw it. There's specific reasons for that. I don't love long else statements, but when we look at roulette, this is what you're looking at. I'm building out a string. This is just simple string construction, but the reason for this is you either had an outcome that was red or black, you either had an outcome that was even or odd, you either had an outcome that was bottom or top half or bottom half of the numbers, and then this one is you either had an outcome that was low, middle, or high. So I'm basically building out a string to tell you what the entire outcome was, but I have to compare that against the spin conditions. So that is why you saw all those else's. Normally, I don't have a lot of else cases. These are individual error cases for these couple of things, but for most of it, it's all switch statements. And we'll have to get into all this valid position and all that stuff in a minute. Okay, so we have update user score. We need to create that file, so we'll do that now. Update user score. .js. Good morning, Trey Last. Welcome. Good to see you again. Yeah, I don't know why I capitalized that. I think Pika, I will probably lose the capitalization, but it is what it is for now. Update user score. This is going to be base data. All of this is probably pretty good. This needs to be data. This is where we add you the database. This needs to be data. Yeah, Goldzula, you want to give them the tutorial? You can do that. Let's see, username, contact username. This all looks pretty good. Goldzulu, there is an exclamation point casino that will give you the casino commands. So you can use that if you'd like. Oh, I guess I only have roulette in there. The other one's poker and slots. Do I want to just try this? Do we want to just do it? Case. Roulette. Oh, we actually have an error. Airtable is not defined. In index? Oh, because I didn't include it. Okay. It's reasonable. Where was I talking to Airtable? Oh, right here. Okay. Am I good now with you? Am I good? Nope, you still don't like me. Now it's broken because I'm working in the middle of something. Break. What about now? How do you like me now? Still broken? Cannot find module Airtable in Where? Oh. How about now? Okay, now it's running again. Can you use all in as a bet? No, not currently. That's something we could think about, ATK. But what I'd like to see, now that this thing is running, I'd love to see... Oh, we got an error. Update user score is not... Airtable.update user score is not a function. Of course it's not, because I didn't add it here. Update user score. And I spelled it wrong. Update. Const that equals require that. Oh, thank you, Goldzula. I sometimes have to put some placeholders in there. Require with a U, and then it works. Okay, what I need to do is get to the point where I'm not throwing errors. Cannot read property, update user score, JS. Let's go look at that. This is what happens when I move code over from a new code base. So line 20. That could be the issue. Base data. How about now? No errors. Cool. So what we should now see, look at you guys filling in. Look at this. So now that the new casino chatcino bot is running, you can see that you guys are filling in and earning coins with every message that you post. And I can get rid of these first 3 records because those are unimportant. Delete all selected records. So as you guys post messages, it's continuing to update your amounts here. And that was the big thing that I was worried about, was that we wouldn't be saving or gathering all of this information, and then the casino wouldn't work. So step 1 done. You guys are now basically being like, I capture you the first time you post a message. So if there's somebody in the room that, like Pika, oh no, you did one already. But if somebody in the room isn't in this list right now, if you post a chat message, your name should appear. You should get a currency of 1. And it should be good. I guess I could do it. I haven't done it yet. Hello all. There you go. Great Per Blight is there. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining in. And thank you for watching the show. And so, Voice Tech Bot is earning coins now. That's super cool. So it adds you to the database, and then it'll increment in future messages. So Great Pure Blight, if you post another message, you'll see that it doesn't add you again. It just gives you another coin. TradeLast asks, in your dev tips get user record, use the Airtable.js library in one place and fetch using a constructed URL in another place to retrieve a record. Why is that? You will. My experience has been that it feels cleaner and easier for me to use fetch and a URL to retrieve things, but I tend because a lot of my create record stuff is done fire and forget. That's the times that I use their API. This started as a behavior when I couldn't figure out how to get the value out of their API call. Let me show you guys what he's talking about. So down here when I'm creating, I have this Airtable call. This is actually calling out to an Airtable node module and using that to talk to their API. It's their SDK basically. But then up here, you can see that I'm constructing a URL, and then I use fetch to go get that thing. So the real problem, this is more a habit than anything, and this is a really good question, TradeLast, is that for a while I didn't realize that I needed to wrap it in a promise and then resolve the record. And so when I was retrieving, I couldn't easily get the data that I wanted the way that I wanted it. So it was easy for me to do these because I could fire and forget and then not need to worry about getting results back. But for retrieving a record, getting a user record, this URL construction method was the way to do it. Trade last, that's another good example. I feel like filtering is easier for me in the URL as well. So that's something else that I really struggle with. But anyway, I guess it's because it works. Look at this. This is so awesome. You guys are just filling this up. I'll sort 9 to 1 so we can see who our current leader is. And it's Gold Zulu. Who asked the question? Oh, how do you use the voice effects? I see. So not really voice effects as much as sound effects, but yeah, you have to use your Blanken points. So when you're in the chat, there's this little icon down here. You choose this, you say play a sound effect, and then you can choose any of the sound effects from that list. And so you could say like, I like 2319.
2319! We have a 2319!
Sorry if that was a little loud, but that's a way to play sound effects here on the channel. I'm going to be modifying all this as well. I think that I have some ways I'm using a bit of software called OBS, which is Open Broadcast Software, and it has something called a browser input browser or something. I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's a hosted web page that I can include here, and I think there's ways that I could then get that to play the audio file for me directly. So that's something that I'm interested in figuring out how I could communicate directly with a browser source. Thank you, Gold Zulu. So that I could have it play the audio files for me, which would allow me to keep all the audio files in the cloud and allow you guys to play them, and it would feed directly into the audio.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
There you go, Pika program. You got it. I can use Blurp. I tried it for a little while. I didn't love it. And it seemed like Blurp also limited people where they had to be able to spend money. They had to use bits, or only subscribers could do it, and I didn't like all of that. So that's why I'm not using Blurp, but I did look at it. I put it in, I tried it out, I installed it, and I didn't like the fact that people had to spend money to do it. So that's why I'm not using theirs. Okay, so the next thing to try, our next step in all of this, in our chatbot adventure this morning, is to go to this. Nope, let's go to this. And I have my case roulette. So what I want to be able to do, this is always a client.say with a target. But in here, what I want to do is return await games.roulette. And I probably need message and context to know who the user is. And that doesn't exist because I haven't imported it, so let's do that. So this is going to be games. And I think I already have my games file, but I don't have anything in here. So we need to do const roulette equals require roulette module.exports equals, and then a roulette like that. Okay, so that's good. We're going to run into bugs. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think, well, we have something broken. What's broken? Return unexpected token return. What are you talking about? Isn't that what I do over here? Where did the bot go? Oh, I guess it's not a return. Well, I don't know why I thought I needed a return there. So it's just await. Await games.roulette message context. All right, let's see what happens. So if I say roulette, Chatsino is responding as I would expect it to. I could play in two bots at once, but I could say roulette 1 red. And the Chatsino one must have broken. You see how I didn't respond? And the error was airtable.updateScore does not exist. Well, of course not, because I didn't create that yet. Okay, so update score is this one. Nice and simple and small. Copy that. Airtable update score.js. Whoa. Let's try renaming that. Danielle Fuller00, thank you for the follow. I hope you're enjoying this. I haven't seen you in the chat, but I'm glad you're following, and we're doing a bunch of fun stuff here in the chat. Please join us there. This all looks like it would be okay. This just needs to be data. User record ID, currency, good, and then we just need to take this and update score. This is something else I really hate, and we'll go back and refactor it. Not today probably, but eventually. Is that I have an update user score and I have an update score. That's not good code naming. It's not even really good programming, but I ran into two different cases and I'd already named the update user score. The difference between them is the update user score goes and gets your user record, and then if you don't have a user record, then it inserts you. So it really should be something about like update user or something like that. I just haven't changed the name of it yet. And then update score is just you already exist, and here I just want you to go do the thing. So let's try it again. If I say roulette 5 red, I only have 4. Okay, roulette, that's a good sign. 2 red. Chatsino, it got me. I won. I did it. So I've moved roulette over appropriately. So now what we can do is come into this. Let's look at our bot for the Alexa channel. And all we have to do for right now is take this roulette out. Actually, let's not even do that, because we'll just do this. So roulette is gone. Now we can come over to this. That's the Jeff one. Alexa chatbot. We'll just start and stop this, like so. And now, I think we've moved that function over to be only on the Chatsino. So now if I say roulette, the Amazon Alexa one shouldn't even respond. Right. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So we've done the Chatsino stuff. We have the roulette thing moved over. So the other thing I'd like to do is show you guys, because we built the roulette stuff live on stream on Friday. Now it should be pretty easy to move the rest of the stuff that I built over the weekend. I gotta tell you guys, I was so excited about this. I spent so much time on Friday night and most of Saturday morning building this casino stuff, and I was really excited to share it with all of you. And one of the things that I really wanted to show you is the slots. So again, these are pretty self-contained, but I love this implementation. So let's just take a moonshot here and see how this works first. We're going to come over to games. We're going to create a new file called slots.js. And we'll dump this code here. Now, it may not work, and that's okay, but we'll tweak it as we need. But you guys may have seen all of the crazy emojis in there. I didn't know that you could use emojis in code. I guess I never really thought about it. It's not like I said, well, you definitely can't do that. I just said it had never occurred to me to try. And so it turns out you can do that. So if I go to the slots file, let's take a look at what's going on here. So I have, obviously, Airtable and Helper, those things are brought in, and I may need to add some additional functions to this. This becomes games. But you can see that I built myself a little pay table here so that I can see what all these things are. But you can also see that, like, the individual reels, Stream for Charities, thank you for joining in here. You can see that I have the individual reels of the slot machine defined as reel 1, reel 2, and reel 3. These are just arrays of emoji, basically. And these are... oh, it totally works. This absolutely works. You can try it right now. If you come to the chat, I don't have it built for the Chatsino, but if you say slots, It'll just bet 1 credit for you, and it spins the reels, shows you what the result was, and tells you what you won. You can also do pay table slots, and it'll show you what the pay table is, and you can see I'm inserting those emoji right here into the chat as well. Super, super cool. So these are the reels, and these are based on a real slot machine. So you can see that the diamonds are interspersed. They're a little more common on the middle reel. Cherries are really, really common on... I just noticed there's no cherry on the 3rd reel. You can never hit that if you don't have a cherry on the 3rd reel. I'm going to have to fix that. I'm going to have to look at what I did wrong. There's some cherry missing from... If you didn't have a cherry on the 3rd reel, then you can never hit that condition. But those are the reels, and so then I just randomly spin each reel, right, a random number, and I pull out one of those things. And I'm just going to scan through this really quick to make sure that I'm not missing anything. But basically, if you had a valid wager, then I spin, and I have a function just to handle that. And then I have a switch statement for each of the cases. And so most of the cases are pretty easy. They're, did you get 3 of a kind? But then I also have, and I guess I can get rid of this stuff. I have this if case for did you have 1 or 2 cherries? Lord of Sound, that is correct. The only device with a round viewport shape is the Echo Spot. That is correct. So I have to do some weird cases for when, if you have just the first symbol is cherries, then you win, or if you have the first 2 symbols as cherries, then you win, but it doesn't matter what the 3rd one is in those cases. So all I do is generate a random item out of those individual reels, and then I'm returning what the actual value of that thing was, and then I have an isValidWager, and then I have my withdraw and payout functions. These are going to have to move somewhere else, but I haven't done it yet because I have different speech depending on what the different outcomes are. So I think I might just have like a withdraw function that does the actual withdrawal, and then I'll still have a function here that it generates the speech that I want to return back to the user. But slots is here, and I've included it here, right? I have. So if I come into my actual bot, and we look at my cases, I could just add another one right now that looks like this. We just change this to slots, and change the game to slots, and if I come into here and say slots, we should see the Chatsino respond. And it did. God, I love when things just work. Okay, so you can see that I'm getting, I bet 1 and I won 5 coins because I got 2 cherries. So I believe if we look at our pay table, 2 cherries and anything, that's what the X is, you win 5 times your bet. So in this case, I bet 1, so I won 5 coins. Oh, that's so great. Okay, let's go back to the Alexa bot. And Kevin Evans, good morning, man. Welcome, welcome. We're doing good. We're building casino games because why not? And I still want to show you guys the poker because the poker is also pretty cool. But you know, the idea that I'm coding in emoji, this still just blows my mind that it works at all, but it works. So, okay, so we've got this working. So what I wanted to do was come into the bot for Alexa and take Card Addict is now following. Thank you, man. Thank you. So where is slots? I do them alphabetically for a reason. So we'll do that, and we'll comment that out, and then we'll come back over here to this. This is the Alexa bot. We're just going to stop it and start it so that we're starting with the new mode. And so now the Chatsino is the one playing slots with all of you. Look at you, Pika, just hitting the 1 cherry. That's enough to get you a win. So we have roulette and slots built in now. The last one that I want to do is poker that I built over the weekend. And poker looks like this. So we'll just take it over and we'll walk through it as we're doing it over here. So I need to create a new game called poker.js. And it's going to look like this. It seems like Card Addict might be here for the poker, and that's perfect if that's the case. So Evaluator is something that I don't have over here. That was something else new that I built. And this is going to be my new evaluator for determining the outcomes of things in games. So I'll explain this in a bit as well. So this is going to go inside games also, evaluator.js. The Twitch Prime subs, I think, Mr. Smoofy, I think you get them just on a regular monthly cadence. I don't think that it's like you get them all on a specific day. I think they happen just whenever the person subscribed, and it's 30 days later. I think. I don't know that for sure. I don't pay a lot of attention to the money on Twitch. I probably should, but... Okay, so let's talk about what's happening in poker. So you can see that I was trying to use... Let me zoom in on this. I was trying to head down an emoji path for this also, but these are just too small to be very readable. But there is actually a Unicode symbol for every playing card. And so this is like the 3 of spades, this is the 2 of spades. I was thinking about building my deck out that way and using those. Cardac, this is Anthony Clayton. Welcome, man. Good to see you. Anthony's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for quite a long time. Man, I'm glad you're here. So this is the poker function. So I don't really need this anymore. I was playing around with the idea of using emoji for that, but it actually doesn't look very good and it's hard to read. So I came up with another solution. So this should be games. Okay, so let's just look through this. So the first thing that I do is get your username, I get your user record, I find out how much money you have, and then I check, is it a valid wager? Because, again, you can't bet more than you have. And then I create a new deck, and I shuffle that deck, and then I deal a new hand out of that deck, and then I evaluate that hand for the outcome of that hand, right? So you're dealt 5 cards out of a shuffled deck. Then I evaluate those 5 cards to see what you got. And then if the odds that I return from the evaluator, if it's greater than 0, then I'm going to call the payout function, which gives you money. And if it was not greater than 0, then I'm going to withdraw the money that you bet from your account. So then I have some simple little things in here like create a new deck. So you can see I have 2 arrays. I have suits and values, and they span 2 through ace. I'll explain why in a minute. And then I just basically loop through those 2 arrays and create a deck of cards, which are the 52 cards. I also have dealing a new hand. I have shuffling. This is a pretty standard shuffling mechanism for shuffling a deck of cards, shuffling an array. That was a wonderful idea, Pika, but I'm ready for you on the negative betting. Very, very ready. So this is shuffle. This is shuffling my array so that it creates a random set of cards each time. Then I deal a hand for you, so I just loop through 5 times and insert 5 cards into a deck for you. I have not accommodated a 0 bet. That's interesting, but it multiplies your winnings against your bet, so you'd still win 0 trade last, but I guess I probably should have is valid wager. Is it else if wager is less than or equal to 0, fixed. And then I need to do that for the other ones as well. So if I go into roulette, that's just a little slip in logic for me. Is valid wager. Is wager is less than or equal to 0, you can't bet. Morgan M2 with the follow. My goodness, what a great day. Thank you guys all for playing around here. You guys can see that there's lots of fun things to do here. I don't know, Pika, why it gave you a 1.11. That's great that you're trying a decimal. But I think I parse int on it. Cash out Amazon gift card. I love it. I think that I parse int on these values, so you'd still end up with 1 even if you bet 1.11. I want to get to 500 so bad. That'll be a fun day. Okay, so anyway, so that's the slots, but what I really want to focus on right now is the poker and talk about the evaluator, because this is something that I actually built in C#, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer, and I'm so proud of the logic. So the way that this works is I get your hand, right, the hand of cards that you gave me, and these are each individual objects the cards are, that have a value and a suit. And then what I do is I evaluate these conditions against specific functions. So I start from high to low. Is it a royal flush? Is it a straight flush? Is it 4 of a kind? And move through that if case until I find one that actually matches. Otherwise, I return nothing and you lose. So the first thing that I discovered when I was building this is that you have to go in this order. If you go the other way, is pair will always hit, even if it's 2 of a pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, full house, 4 of a kind. All of those contain a pair, and so you need to evaluate them high to low. Dennis Traub, welcome back, man. Slots to be or not to be, I love it, but I'm just parsing all that stuff is. Why is your total 22? Where's your total? Oh, Gold Zulu, because we moved over to a new system with new currency. So when we flip this over to be Chatsino instead, everybody starts with a new balance. So you're going to have to earn them back, man. I apologize. I won't do this again. I won't pull it out from you guys under again. But yeah, we had to move it. And so I have a whole new database with whole new records. So that's why everybody has new balances. I know you had you had more coins. So if we look at the database, Goldzula has 25. Alexa Coins is 335. I know we're moving away from the Alexa Coins model, I think, to build just a standalone casino, and then I will be using those Alexa Coins aren't going away. We're going to try and use those for some other things, but they're not going to be used for the casino stuff. So anyway, so this poker logic, I just flipped through and determined what the outcome could be, and then I have some objects down here. This is basically like an enumeration that is what is the name of the thing and what are the odds on that thing, and I'll have these for all sorts of different games eventually. And so that's the evaluator. But what's really cool about this is if we look into poker outcome, where did poker? I'm sorry. Poker hand. So I need to grab that too. Poker hand. This is the cool logic, and I want to explain this. So poker hand. Let's do a new file. Poker hand.js. And this needs to add poker hand to it. I think. No, it doesn't. No, I just need to import it. Okay. So in here in poker, wherever that is, or maybe evaluator. Yeah, I just need this here. So we'll just add this to the evaluator, which it's already there. Great. So I have my poker hand function, which just has all of these evaluators. And so this is actually really kind of cool. So what we do is we start at the bottom, and we say, okay, is it a pair? Well, what I do is I say which pair, and I actually built myself a function that checks the order of the cards. So all the cards are sorted from high to low, and so then what I'm doing is I'm comparing, is the first card and the second card, if they're the same, then we have a pair. If the second card and the third card are the same, then we have a pair. If the second card and the third and fourth are the same, or the fourth and fifth, if any of those match each other in value, then we have a pair of cards. And I return what that actual pair is, so I know like it's a pair of 8s or a pair of 4s or whatever. I do the same thing for 3 of a kind and 4 of a kind. What's cool about this, though, is that we start to grow and build on these functions as we go. So is 2 pair? This is do 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 match each other? And that's interesting. I just realized that there's the possibility. No, because of the way I sort them, it'll get fixed. But then is it the second and third and the third and fourth cards match, or do the first and second and the fourth and fifth cards match? Then we can say, is it 3 of a kind? What's cool about this now is then we check about a straight. We check to make sure that the values for a straight are in the appropriate order. And we do the same thing for flush, but then as we get up here higher, we can start to say things like, is it a full house? Is it a straight flush? Well, if it's a straight and it's a flush, boom, we already know. And for a royal flush, is it a straight flush, and is my last card a 10? Those are the kinds of like little nuanced things that we can use by building these functions on top of each other so that we can evaluate a poker hand pretty easily and quickly. Okay, So I think we're good. I'm gonna try out poker just to see if that works now. Although it'll work on Alexa, it won't work here yet because I didn't add it to the bot. If you don't tell the bot that it should do a thing, it won't do it. And this is something I've been telling you guys over and over, and I don't know why you don't listen to me. Computers do exactly what you tell them to do. And I didn't tell this one to do anything for poker. So we can say poker. We can say game poker here. And now we should be able to do this. We should get 2 responses, poker. Something's broken. Games poker is not a function because I probably didn't import it into this. And I didn't. I love simple little errors though. I can live with simple errors. So let's copy that. Poker and poker. Try one more time. Let my people code. No problem, Greg. I'm glad you're here, man. Poker. Chatsino's working. The Chatsino is working. So we're going to take that one out too then. We can come in here and go into our bot. And for poker, we can comment this out of the Alexa one. And then the other thing that I need is the pay table function. We'll take that. So in here, I have so many files open now. This needs a pay table command. And so we should call this like, I'll create a different thing for this. This is going to be casino. And we'll do these in like a slightly different way. So this will be a new folder, maybe. Kind of. New folder. And we'll call this casino. Yeah, that's probably right. And then in there we need an index.js. And then in here we're going to need const pay table equals require pay table. Not like that. That looks pretty good. And then a module.exports equals. And then this will need a pay table like so. Like so. All of that looks good. That means that in this index we'll need a casino. Like that. And then I think we're almost there. We just need to get our pay table code that we wrote over the weekend, which looks like this. What? I guess I left all that stuff in there. We'll take that out when we get over here. So now we come into, where did it go? Casino. I need one called paytable.js. This goes here. We need to get rid of a lot of this stuff. I think I was just keeping this in here for reference. That would be my guess. Paytable, this becomes casino. I just check your command, and you either said slots or poker. And I have my results there, and then I take your username, and we're all good. I don't think I even need Airtable here. Let's get that out of here. Am I using Lodash right now? I don't think I'm using that either. Gone. Okay. So now we need to go to index and add a pay table, which I already did. Okay, way ahead of myself. Pay table poker. Does Chatsino respond? It does not. Because why? Games not poker. No, that's not what I wanted. Oh. Okay. And again. Pay table pay table slots. Nice. Okay. So that's us getting out of the Alexa thing as well. So we'll come into bot. We'll take that one. Comment it. We'll take the slots, roulette, poker, pay table. Kevin Evans with the chimes. Thank you. That's all good. So now we'll come over here to our bot. tell it to stop and start. And I think we've done it, everybody. I think we are now. How do I check my coins? That's a great question. What do you guys?
You don't know the power of the dark side.
What do you guys think for the casino? What do you guys think the response should be? Should it be like should it be !me? That's how I use it right now on the Alexa side. Should it be balance? Greg, you can't wager more than you have. You only have one Alexa coin right now. Oh, I need to change that too. Let's fix that. Poker. Coins. Roulette. Coins. And poker. No, slots. Okay. The amount wagered is invalid. Your bet has not been recorded. Why? All right, that looks all right. Greg, if you're only betting one, you don't even need to provide the one. You can just say !poker, and it'll play it for you with a default bet of one. I'm thinking about changing that too. And you'll also notice that it doesn't seem like you're going to the bottom. Every time you post a message in chat, you earn 1 coin. So that's why when you bet one and you had one, you still end up with one. That's the reason for that. That's the logic behind it. But posting any message in the chat will earn you 1 fake coin. So Gold 206 should be check my fake coin purse. It feels like we could be more concise, I think. Yeah, ATK. See, so like if you don't give me a number, then I just assume 1. And you lost 2 coins just like that, Greg. Sorry, man. So, Greg, if you didn't see this over the weekend, I think we chatted about this on Twitter. Emojis in my code. I just think this is so cool. Okay, so the last thing that I really need to get to is you checking your balance. So I'm going to say, we'll call it balance. Is that too much? Case BALANCE break, and then we'll just take this like so. We'll drop this case in here, and so what I need to do is give you your balance. Do I have that? Do I know who you are? Withdraw to Bitcoin wallet, of course. So I don't currently know your balance. I don't know who you are yet. What does update user score actually bring me? Maybe I can do it there. Update Airtable, update user score. Oh, it brings me back a record. Okay, so we'll use that. We'll call this, instead of user score, we're going to call it user, because I don't think I use that anywhere else yet. So you come in here, I'm going to update your user score and get your user record. And then, yeah, that looks beautiful. So I should be able to say at context.username, your balance is currently user.fields.currency I think that'll work. I think I can just do that. So now if I say balance, what'd I do? What'd I do wrong? Cannot read property fields of undefined. What are you talking about? Am I not getting my user from that? Let's take a look at update user score. Return new promise, and I'm resolving inside of that. I think I was just being sloppy. I think that will do what I want it to do. This modern day is asking if I'm using the TMI.js module. I absolutely am. You can see that in my bot right here at the very beginning. That I'm using TMI.js. Absolutely. It's too easy. It's too useful. It's fantastic this modern day. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm using. Let my people code, Greg. I'm not that old. I have not. I never copied code. Maybe not that I'm not old, because I am old, but I didn't really get into like the programming side of things until late high school, early college, and so yeah, it's just one of those things. Please, can I have more? You can earn them yourself, Goldzula. You have that power. But I feel like if I give you some credits, then I got to give everybody some credits, and it just becomes a whole thing. Okay, so we're almost there. We have our balance now. I'm getting my user record, it seems like. The thing I should check, I'll go in and delete myself. Here I am. Delete my record entirely. I want to make sure that this still works even when I'm a brand new user. So if I say BALANCE, your balance is currently 1. That's awesome. Okay, so even as a brand new user, I should be able to do that, and it should work. Okay, I'm feeling really good about this casino so far. One of the other things that I really want to be able to do is build out some turn-based games, because you'll notice that I specifically selected games where it's just a one-time thing and you either win or you lose. And I need you to be able to do things like video poker, where you can hold cards and make decisions and influence the game yourself. Oh, thanks, this modern day. I really appreciate that. I think the TMI.js stuff is actually the easy part of building this chatbot so far. I think the real trick is figuring out what you want your commands to be and how you want a lot of this stuff to work. But it's good to know you're here. If I'll have to check. Do you stream as well this modern day? I will. Maybe we could trade follows. Twitch.tv/thismodernday. Maybe. Oh yeah, look at this. Look, working on TwitchBot commands. You're about to become one of my new best friends. I love following people that are working on this stuff. I think it's too cool. So you just got yourself a new follower, and I'm on here at least 3 days a week. So if you want to drop that follow, this goes for all of you. If any of you want to follow along with what's going on here, not just with chatbots, but also with a lot of the things that I build for Alexa, it would be super cool to have you. So, very, very, very cool. All right, so we have this modern day drop in the follow. Man, what a great day! Thank you so much. Gold 2, look at this. You got 56 coins. What are you talking about? You're doing great. This is awesome. Okay, so how do you detect a moderator? I can show you that, actually. I have that right here in my context. So if I scroll up here a little bit, Gold Zulu, inside the context object, you can see for people that are moderators, which I don't believe you are a moderator here, but let me see if I can find one of Greg's messages. He is. This modern day, Ghost Bag Games. Smoothie, come on. Somewhere in here there was a Greg message. Can I do a find in here? There we go. So you can see in here how I have, this is Greg, but I have, if I look at his information, his context, right in here you can see that badges, moderator is 1. I believe there's also a mod is true. That's right here. So for those things, you can easily detect whether or not they're a mod. One of the things this modern day that I would love to know, and I don't think that this is included in any of this context data, is can I know if someone is following me? I would love to know that specific condition. It doesn't seem like I have access to that data, but if I do, that would be incredibly useful information. But yeah, that's how I detect it, is looking at this context and seeing that there's a number of places in there where it actually tells you that they're a mod. This modern day, I need to use the Kraken API. See, there's something I didn't know about it that even existed. Can you drop a link in the chat? I'd love to see what the Kraken API looks like. Maybe we can play with that on Wednesday. Okay, so we have moved the casino over in less than 2 hours. Now, obviously, I wrote a lot of this code on the weekend, but I'm excited that we have this whole new bot that can do all these things for us. Is there anything else that we want to do today? I think that's probably it. Ghostbag, I'm glad to hear you're getting back after it, man. Programming is super, super cool, and there's a ton of people on here that would be more than happy to help answer questions or whatever. Me and my team, I work on the team that makes Alexa at Amazon. We do open office hours I think there's like 4 different hours of office hours every week. And you can find us on twitch.tv/Amazon Alexa. And you can find us there, ask questions, learn about how to develop things for Alexa as well. So dev.twitch.tv/docs. Oh, so when you said the Kraken API, you meant the actual Twitch API. I started playing with that, looking around at it. I don't think I like it. I didn't really like the structure of the API, but I'm gonna have to get into that, I guess, because that would be a useful piece of information. Oh yeah, where are we at? As we wrap up here, well, this is a good time to kind of shut things down. If I do followers, what did we end up with? Now I got to do followers. Jeff Blankenburg. 420. Well, isn't that a fun number? Man, we're so close. 80 left to go. This modern day is 77. We'll get you up there, man. Keep hanging out here. We have a good crew of people that show up, and it's like I said, this is a really good, supportive group of people that go out of their way to help each other. So come hang out once in a while. It would be good to have you. All right, with that, I think we're going to put a bow on this today. We're really coming along nicely on this chatbot. Some of the stuff that I want to be able to do. Let My People Code's going to be streaming today at 4 p.m. I believe that's 4 p.m. Pacific. So for those of you that are on Eastern time, Giant from Jax, thank you for 421. That's super cool. One of the things, let's talk about a to-do list, because I know Gold Zulu asked for this earlier. Things I want to do. Turn-based games. Also, to do. Group-based games, like betting on a roulette wheel as a group. That'll take a little more work, because I'll have to like gather a bunch of bets, and then we'll have to have some event that the speaker or the moderator or somebody kicks off. I don't think that'll be hard to do, but we'll need to do that. Mr. Smoofy, and actually this might be one more good question for this modern day. I don't believe that these chatbots can send whispers. Is that accurate? I haven't figured out a way to send whispers. It just doesn't seem to work when I try to do that. Do you happen to know off the top of your head this modern day if you can send whispers via chatbot? I haven't found a way to do that yet. I've tried just like prefixing it with /w and it doesn't seem to do it. Do you have the syntax for that this modern day? Because I think there's a lot of cool things that I would love to just whisper back to people so that we're not cluttering up the chat. I like the outcomes of the games and stuff. But I think there's things like balances and stuff like that. It might be cool to just let people whisper those to the chatbot instead. Okay, so let's talk about other games. Because one of my favorite casino games, if you guys ever go to a casino with me, and Karthik, who's not here anymore, he has experienced this. How do we do craps? I love craps. And I already have a dice roller, so we should be able to do this pretty easily. I also need, turn-based games. We should do things like video poker, blackjack, etc. Yeah, Greg knows. Playing craps is a lot of fun, and I just drag people into it. I really enjoy it, but when you do it as a group, it's so much better. Is there anything else that we want to do, at least early on? Let's do redemption. Can we go Chuck E. Cheese style? What can you get with your coins? Oh my goodness, stop. I'm just going to mute for right now. This modern day, I'm hanging out with bated breath waiting for your response here. Trade last, that'd be awesome. Everybody just here gambling on a silly chatbot that I've built. Okay, are there other games in a casino that I would really want to be able to replicate? I guess I should also do like multiple slot machines. 5 reels, mini games. That's probably pretty cool. We could also do, again, this comes in like video poker. I could do 3-card poker, war. There's lots and lots of games. Do I have a Discord? I don't personally have a Discord. No, I've been asked by a number of people to create one. So that may be something we need to do, but I haven't done that yet. We could do, Keno, bingo. Those would all be fun. I mean, realistically, I could build a bot that just calls out things. I think blackjack would be a super fun thing to build. Trade last, I haven't built any of those yet, only because they're turn-based. And I haven't actually spent any time thinking about how I want to do turn-based interactions and how do I persist those and how do I... how do I do a lot of that turn-based stuff? Because I basically have to save it to the database
and then retrieve it again or something. I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly the right way to do that yet, but I will. That's going to come. We'll figure it out. I'll probably lean heavily on Airtable for it, but we'll see. But this casino bot is a thing now. And for those of you that stream here on Twitch, if you want to have this casino bot running on your channel also, I'm happy to add it to your channel. It's really easy to do. W. Georgia, we're still going, but only because we're waiting for this modern day to drop us a quick little snippet of code that I can grab. But I'm wrapping up here in just a moment. We're just he's putting some code together for me so we can get this. Well, it's not so much stealing it. Like Goldzula, if you want all of these commands available on your channel, it really is just as easy as me updating the manifest, and then it just runs and it works and it's great. And actually, that's something that I should add. If I come into here to user, no, how am I going to do that? No, I don't think I'm going to do that way. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. But I've got stuff to do. I've got a meeting that is starting right now that I need to get to. So no shortage of fun and activity in Jeff Blankenburg's life today. I got all sorts of stuff going on, and we got to get all this Alexa Live stuff squared up so that we're ready to go for you guys on July 22nd, my birthday. I do just leave the bot running, but I will probably have to stop it at some point. I think it's W. Giorgio. I think it's W exclamation point leaderboard, but I don't think it works yet. I think it just tells you that the leaderboard is coming. Yeah, there you go. This modern day, I hate to do this because I really do need to go. But if you want to just send me a whisper on Twitch, that'd be fine too. Just drop the link in there, and I'll grab it. And we can focus on it on Wednesday morning when I'm back here. All right, yeah, I think that's going to have to be it for me today, guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I've got to take off, but I will see you guys all again very, very soon. And this has been